Hey guys, here we are for the final round. We are up against Delver Blade. Had a chance to look at the deck. This hand looks like it could get there, and then we've got two lands. I think it could be good enough. Hopefully we draw in a little bit of land here. Or possibly a birds. But yeah, very close match against Esper Delver on that last one. One problem, which I'm not sure that we made the change, but I don't know if we put in the Nihil Spellbomb, and if we did not, we definitely should have. So kind of looking back at that match there, would have really helped us a lot against Lingering Souls and Snapcaster. Alright, there we go. Give a nice turn to Strangleroot Geist. Into Vapor Stag, which is fine. Because now he's going for Delver. Hopefully he does not have the Delver set up. At this point, we could drop War and Peace, just because if we draw a land next turn, we could just Strangleroot Geist equip, which I think is a little better than just playing out Geist. So I guess he has the Mana Leak backup, which is unfortunate. So I guess at this point, we know he's going to leak whatever we play. But I think it's still worth casting Moon Crusader, because that way next turn, if we draw land, we can still Strangleroot Geist equip. You know, I mean, we could always just try to smoke it out with Strangleroot Geist and then have Mirror Crusader, but it would be a turn late, and I think the extra life gain, since it's such a fast matchup here, I think it's worth trying to get the Geist Geist equip play. So he definitely counters this, and then okay, that's fine. So now he has the Snapcaster Mana Leak backup again, most likely. Okay, so now at least we have two things to play. Never mind, we have one thing to play. Yeah, I think we just go Pilgrim equip here. Well, we could go just Geist, but I think Pilgrim is a better play. Because then we, you know, he can waste the leak on it if he wants. Or he probably has Vapor Snag back up here, yeah, okay. Which is unfortunate. So now we really need to connect with Geist. It's pretty much our only way to get back into this game if he has Counterspell or other nonsense. But we have to go for it, just because we can't delay any longer. If he has Leak, it's probably over. Okay, I guess he has the double Snapcaster backup play. And that's game. Yeah, so an aggressive start there with the Delver is just backbreaking with all these Snapcaster shenanigans going on. Since he's Delver Blade, though, I don't think it's worth bringing the Spellbombs, just because we're only hitting Snapcaster with it. So bring in Daybreak Ranger, the Spell Skites. We could bring in Thrun, I suppose, but I think Mist Up is better. And probably O-Ring as well. We don't have time to mess around with Pod. Slime is still fine just because it gets Sword, and he will be bringing in swords against us. Destiny is a blowout. Probably cutting Feast and Famine. I want to make room here for a couple O-Rings, I think. Question is, what do you want to shave? Sword is still really good against him, I think. I guess we could probably, I suppose, just because heroes, maybe just shave a hero potentially, and maybe a sword. I don't know about shaving sword though. I think maybe a hero and an elf seems fine. Okay, so this hand is just fine. So our plan is to go turn 2 sword, turn 3 equip. And if he doesn't have the Vapor Snag, we're in a pretty good spot. Okay, so looks like he's settling with his hand. Hopefully he doesn't have like the gut shot or the middle misstep. And he does have the gut shot, unfortunately. Okay. A little unfortunate. We could have gone turn 2 Crusader there, or turn 2 Sword. Either way, we'd be very happy. And now if he has the lockdown play again with Delver into Snapcaster shenanigans, we could just be locked out here. Hopefully not. So if he has the mana leak and then into the Vapor Snag, we will see. But what I'm finding here is that 4 mental missteps may not be enough just for Delver. We may want to include 2 gut shots also, just because very often if they're able to get the turn 1 Delver into play and flip it, it's pretty much lights out. So the small consolation, the small consolation is that we don't have to worry about counters this one turn. We probably see a Vapor Snag back up here, so we have to expect the Vapor Snag. There's the Vapor Snag, okay. So now he probably has Snapcaster into Vapor Snag back up. So he dropped to 13, he dropped to 10, dropped to 8. Okay. Or just the mana leak, that works too. Okay, what is our play? Good acidic slime is Whirling Haunt. And then hopefully like War and Peace into Equip next turn. We could also just drop Spellskite. And let's see, we could Green Sun. We probably should Green Sun for Daybreak Ranger here. Otherwise, we Acidic Slime is land, or we drop Spellskite and Sword. Or we could just go like Green Sun into the Strangleroot Geist. I think we actually go Green Sun into Ranger here. Like if he has Snapcaster, I mean we're dead anyways. Have to accept it. Yep, then he has a Snapcaster Mana Leak, so it didn't really matter what we played there. I guess we could have like let out with Sword, see if he countered it, and then drop Spellskite to maybe try to stabilize. But Snapcaster into Mana Leak will definitely end the game. So we're probably just dead here. And still has more gas. Alright, so I guess we O-ring his flyer and then drop Spellskite, and if he has anything we lose. Or we could Acidic Slime his Porcelain Legionnaire, block here, go to 2, and then O-ring his creature the next turn. Then he just gets us with Whirling Haunt though. Yuck. No, I think we O-ring now, and then drop Spellskite. If he has the Mana Leak, we're just done. So we go to 3. Or Steel Sabotage gets us. Okay. So unfortunately we went 2 and 2. Had a great start. Didn't quite get there in the end. Lost to Delver. Back to back with Delver. So this is it's kind of good to know. It's showing us a very, very strong weakness to Delver. Alright, so basically looking at the board, what is the problem here? 4 Misstep is clearly not enough. I think we need to make sure we also have Gut Shot. Question is, how do we make room? So, looking at the deck, one thing we could do is we could look at trying to be a little bit less of just like a turn 4 get there deck with Destiny. The thing is, Destiny on Crusader wins a lot of games. It really does. So I like that about the deck. You know, maybe not against Delver, but against a lot of other decks, it certainly can just end the game right there. The swords I like as well. I guess there could be an argument for making room for Gut Shot. What do we like in the board? Daybreak Ranger, I think is okay, but he's so slow and clunky. I don't know that he's good enough, to be honest. I mean, we could like Green Sun Zenith for Daybreak Ranger, try to stabilize. The problem is though, if they have Mana Leak or Snag, they just get us. I don't know about Thrun. Thrun seems to be fairly underwhelming. I mean, he's good against like the Solar Flare matchup, you know, where they have all kinds of removal, but then they can just remove the swords that he carries. I feel like it's worth having tutor targets. I'm not sure that he's good enough. It's kind of hard to know. I think we need 3 spell bombs. So like basically, I mean, if we were gonna make cuts here, it would be for Daybreak Ranger and Thrun for Gut Shot. Now, I don't know that that's correct. We could potentially try to make room main deck for Gut Shot and be a little bit less sort of combo-esque. I mean, I guess if I was gonna do that, I would probably kind of like having 5 swords, to be honest. I mean, I could see like making a case for cutting a birthing pod and just putting in Gut Shot instead. So I guess maybe we like leave the board as is, and then just cut birthing pod for Gut Shot. I think that, you know, birthing pod is definitely, I mean, it's a pretty good card, to be honest, and it can really do some nice stuff in our deck. I don't know that it's as abused in this deck as it could be in other decks, but, you know, being able to go from Stranglegeist into Crusader, you know, where we have a waiting sword, is a nice option. You know, being able to go from, you know, a random dork into something relevant like a Stranglegeist, I think it's also worthwhile. So, you know, I don't think anything here is final, but looking at adding Gut Shot might be the way to go. Just because it looks like our Delver matchup is really, really rough right now. And we will check it out here for the next daily. But thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.